The decision regarding Dilruba Kayserioglu has been announced. Horror in Ankara, sergeant killed his brother-in-law and committed suicide. 5 rock band members arrested. Erdogan. There is comprehensive preparation for social housing. 48 suspects detained in corruption investigation against Bayrampaşa municipality at courthouse. The decision regarding Dilruba Kayserioglu has been announced. Published by Sözcü newspaper. Dilruba Kayserioglu, who was tried on charges of insulting the president, due to the statements she made in a street interview in Izmir and was detained for a period of time during the trial, was acquitted by the court. Dilruba Kayserioglu, who criticized the access ban imposed on Instagram in a street interview she conducted in Izmir in 2024, was acquitted by the court in the case where she was tried on charges of insulting the president, due to the expressions she used. Kayserioglu's lawyer, Hüseyin Yıldız, announced in a statement on the social media platform X that his client had been acquitted. His lawyer announced acquittal. Lawyer Hüseyin Yıldız made the following statement in his social media post. Our struggle began last year. First, we lifted the detention, now we've acquitted him. Our greatest wish is for it to be a source of inspiration for all the injustices taking place in our country. Horror in Ankara, sergeant killed his brother-in-law and committed suicide. Published by Milliyet. Uğur Balkoca, who shot and killed his brother-in-law, Emre Bozkurt, 36, a specialist sergeant, in Ankara, committed suicide with the same gun. The incident occurred around 6:30 a.m. in the 29 Ekim neighborhood of the Sincan district. Emre Bozkurt, a gendarmerie specialist sergeant serving in Ankara, was shot at from inside his car as he left his home. Bozkurt collapsed to the ground. Police and paramedics were dispatched to the scene following a report. The investigation determined that Bozkurt had died. Following examination, his body was taken to the Forensic Medicine Institute. Bozkurt's brother-in-law, Uğur Balkoca, who was determined to have shot and killed him, was found dead in his car, bearing license plate 06HB155, on Ahmet Koparan Boulevard in the Menderes neighborhood, 500 meters from the scene, with a gunshot wound to the head. It was determined that Balkoca had committed suicide with the same weapon following the murder. 5 rock band members arrested. Published by Haberturk. 5 suspects, members of the rock band, Serinvomit, who allegedly insulted religious values with their song lyrics and social media posts, were arrested on charges of inciting the public to hatred and hostility or insulting. The Anatolian Chief Public Prosecutor's Office launched an investigation into 5 suspect band members who allegedly shared lyrics insulting religious values on social media. They were brought to the courthouse. According to all, suspects BS, C, Y, GK, I, AK, and KRC were detained by police as part of the investigation. After completing procedures at the police station, the suspects were brought to the Anatolian courthouse. They were sent to prison. In their statements to the prosecutor, the band members claimed they had not played the songs in question and had no connection to the social media posts, claiming they were simply musicians. Following their statements to the prosecutor, the suspects were referred to the Criminal Court of Peace on duty and arrested on charges of inciting the public to hatred and hostility or humiliation. Erdogan. There is comprehensive preparation for social housing. Published by Bloomberg HT. President Erdogan said, "We are making comprehensive preparations to enable our low-income citizens, in particular, to own homes. I have instructed us to accelerate this work and spread it throughout the country." President Erdogan answered journalists' questions upon his return from Qatar, where he attended the extraordinary summit of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and the Arab League. Erdogan, stating that there is a comprehensive effort to help low-income citizens acquire housing, said, "We are making comprehensive preparations, especially to help low-income citizens become homeowners. I have instructed to accelerate this work and spread it across the country." Erdogan spoke about the new social housing project to be announced at the end of the year. As you know, our Minister of Environment, Urbanization, and Climate Change, Murat Kurum, is responsible for this project. He will make a statement regarding it as soon as possible. We have comprehensive preparations to ensure that low-income citizens, in particular, own homes. Mr. Murat is continuing his work on this issue. 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartments are included in these projects. I have instructed him to accelerate the process and expand our housing efforts nationwide. By taking this step, we want to ensure that the poor and needy, especially those living in eastern and southeastern Anatolia, have access to these types of housing. Furthermore, as AK party governments, we have built a total of 1,704,000 housing units to date. We are currently building 280,000 social housing units nationwide. Please note that we are doing all of this while continuing our intensive 48 suspects detained in corruption investigation against Bayrampaşa municipality at courthouse. Published by Anadolu Agency. 48 suspects, including Mayor Hasan Mutlu, who were detained as part of the corruption investigation targeting the Bayrampaşa municipality, were referred to the courthouse. Zeynep Yeşildal, Emre Gökmen, Zeynep Yeşildal. The 16th of September 2025 updated. The 16th of September 2025. Istanbul. The procedures of 48 suspects, who were detained as part of the investigation launched by the Istanbul Chief Public Prosecutor's Office against the Bayrampaşa municipality for extortion, bribery, qualified fraud, and tender rigging, have been completed at the police station. Following their health checks, the suspects were referred to the Istanbul courthouse in Caglayan. The suspects will be interrogated at the Organized Crime Investigation Bureau. The investigation allegedly began after a bribe was requested from an earthquake victim. On the other hand, it was learned that the investigation was started upon the complaint of an earthquake victim who returned to the district after his house in Hatay was destroyed in the earthquakes on February 6, 2023, which was described as the disaster of the century. Istanbul Police Department Financial Crimes Branch teams, in their investigation following the application, determined that earthquake victim AO had applied to Mayor Hasan Mutlu to open a cafe on an empty lot and received approval. The teams determined that the earthquake victim was stalled for legal proceedings, that a bribe of 3 million lira was requested for the opening of the cafe after an investment of approximately 2.5 million lira, and that there was pressure to give 25% of the cafe to Hasan Mutlu. Upon further investigation, the teams determined that the naming rights of Ms. Cafe, a municipal business, belonged to Hasan Mutlu. Istanbul Police Department Financial Crimes Branch teams detained 48 suspects, including Mayor Hasan Mutlu, Deputy Mayors Atilla Ozan, Hakan Bağ, Lutfi Kadiojalari, Gündüz Kalkan, and Legal Affairs Manager Bilgehan Yagpi, in a simultaneous operation.